Now, here's something amazing. The idea that we can take inspiration that we read in a book and turn it into income. I kid you not. I'm going to show you. So I'm reading this book right here called Inside Drucker's Brain. Can everybody see that? Right? And it's by this guy down here, Jeffrey A. Crames. Now, what he did was he took a bunch of Peter Drucker, who is a management guru or was a management guru that was writing like way back when, but his stuff has stood the test of time. So the inspiration that we might get from reading something and then turn it into income. I'm gonna show you. Check this out. All right. So right here, can y'all see how I do this? Right. I'm always messing stuff up. All right. So now it says on page 56, it says results are achieved by exploiting opportunities, not solving problems. Now, everybody in my that are in some of my coaching programs and people out there that I facilitate for and that I coach and I do all these webinars for and all that kind of stuff. Think about that statement alone. We've been taught that we start businesses to solve problems. And he's saying, wait a minute, but your results are going to be achieved, look at this, by exploiting opportunities. Now, that's just information that we're now inspired by. I hope you're inspired. So you say, wait a minute, if I hear something like, I can see an opportunity and then I can spin up a business and then leverage that, exploit that, or whatever it is, however words you want to use, or whatever words you want to use, and it could put some cash in my pockets. Yes. Now I'm going to be showing you a little bit later. Again, if you're already inside of, if you're one of my Patreon partners or you're inside of my Buy Me a Coffee community and stuff like that, then I do this all the time, showing you how we can do this stuff. Not giving you just the what, right? Surface stuff, but showing you how literally we're taking bits and pieces of information, being inspired by those bits and pieces of information, and then turning them into income. Let's go on. Here's some other stuff, right? So he says right here, this is again on page 56, it says, however, most organizations, its best people spend too much time putting out fires rather than searching for new opportunities that can become tomorrow's cash cow. Okay. Look inside your own organization, even if you're entrepreneuring 100% full time. Is it your days are spent putting out fires? Or is it spent looking for and leveraging opportunities that could become your business's cash cow? Now, what you should be saying, and you're grown, so I hate to say should, but what you should be saying is that little bit of information has inspired me to think about my activities a little differently. And if you're thinking about your opportunities a little differently and you put your energy toward other things, could what this one little bit of piece of information said to you bring you money, bring you opportunity, put cash in your pockets, make a better impact if you're not out, and trying to have money come into your income, into your organization. All right, here's another one. And this stuff, man, just goes on and on and on. As you see, I'll put marks on my stuff. Let me see if you can see that. All right, I'll put marks on. I'll put all kinds of stuff because this stuff right here, it should, when you're reading, you don't have to read left to right all the time. You can just pull the book open and say, what is it about this page that does something for me today? How does it inspire me? Write it down. Now, y'all know how I do it, is I'll keep notes like this. Right? Y'all see, I'll keep my 5x7 cards, and I got a lot of them. You do not want to see what's over here to my left here. And these little bits that you have should inspire you. And once they inspire you, I'm going to be showing you inside, if you're, again, part of the Patreon partners, or if you're, inside of my Buy Me a Coffee community. You see it on the screen back there. It's kind of dark, but Buy Me a Coffee community, I share these things and I say, hey, buy me a coffee. Right? Now you take them and just buy me some coffee and you got them. Leverage them, though. All right. Here's another one. And this is a note that I wrote. Ideas to saleable products. So when he starts talking about this, how should you be thinking about these ideas and these inspirations and finding this stuff, these exploiting opportunities? We should be thinking about them from the perspective of how can this thing be turned into a sellable product? That makes sense? Now, the book is just full of ideas like this. But here's what's funny. Did y'all notice when I had opened up this book and I literally pulled it off my bookshelf, there was a note inside. Now, this is going to trip y'all. This is what's amazing. This note right here was, I think I was at the time, it's probably from maybe 2014, I think. And I was director over, I think I was working at the Urban League at the time, and I was director over employment. But get this, inside here is absolute gold nuggets. Now, I got a video out that I put out, and it says, look, if you're over 40, if you're 40 and above, then you are in the best position to create like crazy because you got life experience, stuff like this. Now, again, this was from 2014. Look what it says. So it says for immediate release. Now, I was acting as if this piece of material that I have wrote down here was going to be a press release. So that was the idea, is to think from a press release perspective. If I were to put this out, what would it say? So I suggest that same thing to you. And what it says inside of here, all these scribbles, now, because we have AI, because we can mix things, ideas with a generator that can take ideas and put them all together, can take unstructured data and put it into a structured format. Now, all of this stuff that we have accumulated, again, that's why I said if you're over, you're 40, 50, 60, whatever it is, you've accumulated a lifetime of information. And now we take this information and we let it inspire us in such a way, in this case, a book or a piece of paper from the book, so that we can then go out and create from that information and inspiration and turn it into income. I've got courses on this stuff already that talk about this. If you're inside one of the memberships or whatever, you get this stuff. Watch what it says here. And then I'm going to challenge you. I want you to literally go find just a book that maybe have a little piece of paper that you wrote something a long time ago. And what I'm going to do is going to be my challenge to help you turn that little bit of thought, that little bit of whatever you put down, that snippet of information, and turn it into income. I'm going to be doing some very specific things inside of the course, right? So look at this. It says, review every activity / meeting and ask. Here's what the goal is. Did it move me toward our goal and target, and how? So now this was as if you're going to take all your meeting time. I think one of the courses or one of the videos I've created before talks about how to turn meeting time, how to monetize your meeting time, something like that. But look at this. It says, review every activity and meeting and ask, did it move me toward our goal and target, and then how? You don't want to just say yes, no to that. You want to say, how did it? Was my time well managed by way of these activities? To justify the energy spent, explain. Now imagine if in your business itself, again, we talked about what Peter Drucker said. He said that we are constantly spending our time putting out fires instead of looking for the new cash cow. And then this was written a while ago that said, was your time well managed by way of activities to justify the energy spent, and then explaining. Now, for your people, if you have people that are working for you, ask them that. The time that you spent, was it justified? Was it toward the goal? Yes, explain. Not yes, no, but explain. Next thing that I wrote down. Now, again, I was reading something. I was inspired by something, and I wrote it on a piece of paper, and I happened to put it in the book. Picked up the book today just to kind of go through some stuff, and boom, there it is. Now, again, I'm going to be showing you how, I don't know why I'm whispering, but I'm going to be showing you how we're going to turn this kind of stuff into income for us. All right, here's the next thing that it says. It says, the next piece of inspiration right here. I'll show you. Right there. Probably can't read my writing. What is the concrete way to determine if what I spent my time on matches departmental goals, targets, and missions objectives? That part, y'all, is key. If you're already working in organizations, asking that kind of questions, does the time match the goals, the target, and the mission? Because now we know, doesn't matter what organization it is. You see people just sitting around. Now I'm always wondering, hey, why are you sitting around and not going toward the goal? Is that sitting around a part of it? Explain to me, because I need to know. Right? And then it also goes further to say, did I show it happening? Did I show it happen by way of case noting? Now, at the time, I was working in an organization that we did a lot of case notes and all that kind of stuff. So, to the crew that I was leading, that was the question to them: Can you show that what you were doing helped the goals by way of case noting, etc., etc.? Now, and then I use an example. Right? Now, this part right here, why I'm saying that take a bit of pieces of paper that you have written down your ideas, and what I'm going to be showing you inside is how you turn that now into something that you can do the 3 Ps. Now, people that I already coach and people that I facilitate for, you know what the 3 Ps are, right? And it's not that product stuff. You know what it is, right? It's not price. No. It's not what you normally have heard. I'm going to give you the 3 Ps. Here it is. 3 Ps. You're going to take bits and pieces of information and you're going to productize it. Now, y'all get it? We're going to take the information, we're going to productize it. We're going to, right? It's like saying there's some snow and then I'm going to package it into a snowball. Now I got a new thing. That's it. Then we're going to present it. That's P number 2. We're going to present it. And then we're going to place it somewhere. In other words, we're going to place it somewhere that we can profit from. Right? So 3 Ps. We're going to productize, we're going to present, and then we're going to profit from it. Now, I break out the how inside the deeper stuff, right? I just wanted to let you know that we can take inspiration, something we got from an old book that was written a long time ago, a guy that takes a lot of this man's writing, packages it all up, presents it in a new format. Are y'all seeing it? In a new format, so that I can be inspired, you can be inspired by it later. And from your inspiration now, you've kept notes and you've written down things. I'll share with you one of the goals that I was talking about. It says, our goal is to place 500 people a year, 1,000 if my magic wand was fixed. And our goal is to have wages averaging a certain amount per hour. Now, if I told you the amount per hour, you would go, man, when was this? But it was a while ago. But an X amount per hour, that's the point. And then I talked about what is our mission state? And then, so let's align them. How did that meeting yesterday align to this goal? Did the activities I engaged in get us more people into the organization itself? Y'all seeing it? It's basically asking the question of, are you aligning your activities to your goals? Now, when I'm talking to entrepreneurs, I'm saying these same kind of things. I'm constantly asking these questions. Here's your goal. Tell me about your activities. I've got some round tables and stuff that I do right now that we get around the table and I ask that question every week. Tell me what you did from what you learned the week before at this table. And then what is the end result? How did it match up to your goals? And that's what I'm going to ask you right now. How is the activities matching up to your goals? Now, you're listening to this and you may be saying, well, wait a minute. Can I pull out something that Randy's talking about? And then from what he's talking about, literally match it up with what I said I wanted to do in my business, what I said I wanted to do in my life, how I want to change my life, whatever it is. and what is the result that I can say now that proves the fact. That's all I'm asking you. That's the challenge for you, to literally listen to what I'm saying and then ask that kind of question. Right? Now, if you jump inside of some of the courses and stuff like that I offer, then we break that out in a whole different way, because then I'm going to show you the tools to use. I'm going to show you the strategies to use. I'm going to show you how you do it in a certain amount of time. I put something out the other day that talked about how we're going to create something within an 8-hour workday. Oh my gosh, you should have saw the hands go up. They were like, 8-hour workday? Yeah, because we're going to use this little thing called the law of Parkinson's. Parkinson's law says things expand or contract by the time you give it. So if you give it 24 hours, or if you give it 8 hours, or if you give it 4 weeks, it's going to expand to that 4 weeks. Now, you know this to be true because think about times that you have had a paper due if you're in school, or if you had something that you had to get done and you waited to the last minute. In other words, it expanded by the time you gave it. So that's why I say, hey, we're going to create this within an 8-hour workday. And for workday, because if you were doing this as a side hustle, or if you're doing this as your full-time thing, then we look at the 8-hour day that we would have been given someone else, some other company, and we say to ourselves, I'm going to get this done in an 8-hour day. I don't want stuff going to the next day. 8-hour day or less. Ideally, it gets done in less time, so you kick off for the rest of the day, or you start the next project. That becomes the opportunity. So listen, I want you to see what I'm talking about here today. I'm literally saying, look, take this, take a book, take a piece of paper, take a note card that you have, that you wrote down those wonderful ideas that you've had, right? And hopefully they're not too late. And then I'm going to be showing you how, bring those ideas and all that kind of stuff, bring it into the program. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to take that bits and pieces of information and turn it into an opportunity for yourself. That becomes a key part, right? We've got the tools now to do all of this. If anybody remembers the $6 million man, they says we now have the technology, and they created a whole dude out of some spare parts or whatever. But now we have the technology to take bits and pieces of stuff. I'm going to be showing you how, and I'm going to do it right there live with you, so that you can see it being done in real time for yourself. I don't want you to get off and life starts happening and then you put it on the shelf and you go, oh my gosh, life is blowing up. Because guess what? You're still in solving problem mode as opposed to finding opportunity mode. This is an opportunity. This is what this is. This is an opportunity for you to come in and say, well, I'm gonna create this while everybody else is creating their thing, and I want to see if this darn thing works. Then we're gonna package it. We're gonna do the second P. We're gonna package it so that you can then put it out to profit from. Anybody got any questions on that? If you do, hit me up on DM or you can send me an email. But we're going to get after it. See you inside.